We back in the building. It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with TBC, speaking on the NFL and the declining ratings. And today they announced that they canceled the Sunday night game. I guess it was nothing. It wasn't worth it. And I think the highest rated Sunday night game was this year was the Ravens and the Steelers that did 17.5 million views, which was 35% down from the highest rated football Sunday night game last year. It was the Cowboys and somebody. But, it's the NFL did their Cam Newton. They did their best to piss off both sides of the ethnic pendulum. They pissed off the Caucasian fan base and they pissed off the black fan base. And shout out to my boy Tom Business, man. I know a lot of y'all probably rock with him. Dope channel. Go holler at my man. He did a video on this. And he exclusively talked about how the NFL alienated the black fan and the black viewers and the black dollar. But they also alienated the white fan, by, the people taking a knee and, white people were talking about, how patriotic, fighting for your country and how patriotic they were and how they were disrespecting the flag. No matter how many times the NFL player came out and said white, black, blue, green, or red, that he was doing it because, for what was going on, police brutality, Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, whatever they was doing. They tried to reiterate that many, many times. But a lot of those fans, not only the white fans, I'm correcting myself, black fans as well, was feeling like, some black fans was feeling like, or Mexicans or whoever, were feeling like they were disrespecting the flag and disrespecting the military. Even when the military people came and backed some of the players and said, oh, we don't feel disrespected, we understand where they're coming from. People just stuck in their ways. And when you came up in the 60s, the 50s, the 70s, 80s, whatever, the 90s, whatever, that's just the way they think. In the NFL, try to make a rule where, people, didn't have to kneel and, they was trying to tell, then Trump didn't make it no better, like tell those SOBs to stand up. And then they started to alienate the black fan as well. And they underestimated the black dollar and the black viewer waiting. Like Tom Business said, they underestimated that, Of course, more Caucasians fill up the stadiums. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact unless you're in Atlanta for a basketball game. That's factual. But the black, if you're anywhere, you take the Mexican viewer away, the black viewer away, the white viewer away, TV rating viewer away, and they just boycott it. You losing a large chunk, and you lost two of the biggest, one of the biggest minorities in black people, and, the white fan. So, of course, your ratings are going to dive. And people can find 1,000 things better to do on a Sunday night. Especially a lot of these mismatches they have on Monday and Sunday night. I'm not a fan of Sunday night football or Monday night football. Mostly Monday and Thursday night. Sunday night got a good game on, like the Eagles and the Cowboys this year, before, Zeke got injured. That was the game that I was looking forward to. But it wasn't too many memorable Sunday night games on. I think football should just be played on Sunday. And I'm cool with Monday night, but, taking it to Thursday, which is too much. And the Colin Kaepernick thing. A lot of black people took their TV ratings away and that nature away for that simple reason because they felt that he got blackballed out the league. And now the NFL's in a tough pickle. Not only all this going on, you got the CTE, the concussions, the owners, being asked to show their emails regarding the Colin Kaepernick. Jerry Richardson being racist and calling a Black Panther scout a talker, bad term. I can't get that word out of my mouth. A racial slur and settling him out of court, and then sexual harassing some of the Panthers staff women. So the NFL got a lot going on. Then it really started, with Roger Goodell being on a power trip, and then trying to let Ray Rice slide so the NFL didn't take a PR hit. That's when the ball started rolling down in the bad direction. NBA ratings are up. NBA popularity is up. NFL's down. And, a couple years ago, man, the NFL was riding on such a high that we never thought the NFL would slip and we could start seeing this fall from grace. But it started. Not only did it start this year with the Kaepernick thing or before the kneeling or before him putting the fist up, whatever he was doing. It started before that. It started with the Ray Rice beating his wife and them try to cover it up, but Goodell was hard on other people. You know, same thing with the kicker. What was it, Josh Brown for the New York Giants? That was his name. Them trying to cover that up at the Pro Bowl, how he beat his wife and got drunk, and he only got a 1-game suspension. You know, Roger Goodell is to blame for this as well, with his inconsistent penalties being thrown down and him letting this slip. And he get a $200 million contract or something like that, and everything on his watch is starting to cripple and starting to fall. Under Paul Tagliabue, they was criticizing him for not being tough enough on some of the players and just not trying to play the judicial system as well. That's why they got Roger Goodell. But now, you know, it's even worse. Goodell is the reason the NFL is pretty much being crippled and going into a downfall. Another sports are going to have the opportunity to be king in America. And it ain't nothing that's going to stop this downfall. You know, they arrogant. You know, the owners, Goodell, they arrogant. They act like they can't, they on top. And we'll see. You know, especially with the New England cheating thing he tried to cover up and all the other stuff that's going to eventually come out. NFL slipping, man. We never thought it would slip. It was like a dominant sport, and you could tell now that it's going downwards. We gone.